Hello students. In last video we have talked about endomembrane system and we have completed lysosome and vacuole. Okay. Today we are going to start our lecture with the new topic named mitochondria. Today we are going to learn about mitochondria. You have learned about mitochondria in standard 8 and 9 that mitochondria is powerhouse of cell. Mitochondria is powerhouse of cell. You are aware about this term and we will learn about mitochondria in detail. Okay, so you all know that mitochondria is powerhouse of cell. In our textbook, the figure that is given about mitochondria is 3D. Okay, 3D figure is given in the textbook and I am drawing a simplified figure. Okay, so I am drawing the simplified figure. The textbook figure is 3D. We can't understand the structure of the mitochondria from that. So for that we will draw a 2D figure which is a simplified one. Okay, so we are drawing mitochondria. We have completed endomembrane system in last lecture. We have talked about endoplasmic reticulum. We have talked about Golgi bodies. We have talked about lysosomes and we have also talked about vacuoles. And today we are going to start with mitochondria, which is also known as powerhouse of cell. Okay, so mitochondria is a very small organelle. Mitochondria is a very small organelle. So if we want to see it under microscope, we have to stain it with particular stains. Otherwise, we can't visualize mitochondria under microscope. Okay, so to visualize mitochondria under microscope, we have to stain it with particular stain because it is a small organelle. Its size is very small. So if we want to see it under microscope, then we have to stain it with particular stains. Otherwise, we can't visualize mitochondria easily in light microscope. So that is the first point regarding mitochondria, that mitochondria is a small organelle and if we want to see it under microscope, then we have to stain it with particular stains. Otherwise, we can't see mitochondria under light microscope. Okay, so this is the first point regarding mitochondria. Now let's talk about the structure of the mitochondria. Mitochondria is a double membrane bound organelle. Mitochondria is a double membrane bound organelle. Total mitochondria, plastid and nucleus. Mitochondria, plastid and nucleus. All of these have double membrane. Mitochondria, plastid and nucleus all have double membrane. So mitochondria is a double membrane bound organelle. This is its outer membrane. This is the outer membrane is there. This is outer membrane. This is inner membrane. Inner membrane. Two membranes are there, outer membrane and inner membrane. And this space between them two, between these two membranes, the space between these two membranes is known as intermembrane space. It is known as intermembrane space. So one outer membrane is there, one inner membrane is there, and the space between them is known as intermembrane space. Okay. Now let's talk about these structures. These structures arise from inner membrane. These structures arise from inner membrane and they are known as cristae. They are known as cristae. So cristae are the invaginations that arise from inner membrane. Cristae are the invaginations that arise from the inner membrane. Okay, chalo. And this area which is covered by inner membrane, is known as matrix. It is known as matrix. Okay, so area which is covered by inner membrane is known as matrix. Area which is covered by inner membrane is known as matrix. So far we have said that mitochondria is a small organelle and if we want to see it in light microscope, then we have to stain it with particular stain. Otherwise we can't see it. And mitochondria is a double membrane organelle like plastid, like nucleus. Okay, and mitochondria has two membrane, outer membrane and inner membrane, and the space between them is known as intermembrane space. And cristae are the invaginations which arise from the inner membrane. Cristae are the invaginations that arise from the inner membrane. And the area which is covered by inner membrane is known as matrix. Area which is covered by inner membrane is known as matrix. And cristae are part of inner membrane only. Cristae are part of inner membrane only. Cristae actually increase the surface area of the inner membrane. Cristae increase the surface area of the inner membrane. Okay, sure. Now let's talk about these two membranes. Outer membrane is more permeable than inner membrane. Outer membrane is more permeable. It is more permeable. More permeable. And inner membrane is less permeable. Less permeable. So outer membrane is relatively more permeable than the inner membrane. It allows entry of more and more molecule, but inner membrane is permeable for some of the molecule only. Okay, so outer membrane is more permeable and inner membrane is less permeable. Okay, so let's talk about the matrix. The matrix which is enclosed by inner membrane, has enzymes for Krebs cycles. Has enzymes for Krebs cycle. Matrix has what? Matrix has enzymes for Krebs cycle. Now what is Krebs cycle? Krebs cycle is a respiratory pathway which helps in production of ATP. Krebs cycle is a respiratory pathway which helps in the production of ATP. In the 10th standard, you have learned about aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Okay? In aerobic respiration, two pathways are there. One is glycolysis and second is Krebs cycle. And third pathway is known as oxidative phosphorylation. Okay? In aerobic respiration, three pathways are there: glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and oxidative phosphorylation. And that Krebs cycle takes place in the matrix of the mitochondria. See, we are talking about matrix of the mitochondria, and in that we said that matrix has enzymes for Krebs cycle. And then we said that what is Krebs cycle? Krebs cycle is a pathway of aerobic respiration, and in that I gave you reference of 10th standard, that in 10th standard you have learned about aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Okay, in aerobic respiration three pathways are there: glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and oxidative phosphorylation. So we will learn about this Krebs cycle in detail in chapter number 14. Okay, we will learn about Krebs cycle in detail in chapter number 14. But for now, you just remember that Krebs cycle is a respiratory pathway in aerobic respiration. Krebs cycle is a respiratory pathway in aerobic respiration like glycolysis and oxidative phosphorylation. Okay, all these are nothing but the pathways of the aerobic respiration. So matrix has what? Matrix has enzymes for Krebs cycle. Apart from that, this matrix has a double-stranded DNA. Matrix will have a double-stranded DNA, which is also known as dsDNA. Okay, matrix will also have double-stranded DNA, that is also known as dsDNA. And matrix will also have RNAs. Matrix will also have RNAs. Matrix will also have RNAs. Matrix will also have ribosomes. Matrix will also have ribosomes. Matrix will also have ribosomes. Okay, so matrix has enzymes for Krebs cycle. Apart from it, it has double-stranded DNA. It has RNAs also, and it has ribosomes also. Okay, all these will participate in protein synthesis. All this will participate in what? All this will participate in protein synthesis. They will help in protein synthesis. Okay, so mitochondria can synthesize its own protein. Mitochondria can synthesize its own protein. Some of the protein will be synthesized with the help of nucleus. Okay, in mitochondria, some of the proteins will be synthesized with the help of nucleus, whereas some of the proteins can be synthesized by its own. So mitochondria can synthesize some of its protein, and some of its protein will be synthesized by nucleus. Okay, mitochondria can synthesize its some of the protein, and some of the protein will be synthesized with the help of nucleus. So in this manner, for some requirement, mitochondria is dependent on nucleus, and for some requirement mitochondria is independent. Okay, for some protein mitochondria is dependent on nucleus, and for some protein mitochondria can synthesize on its own. So in this manner mitochondria is semi-conservative in nature. Mitochondria is semi-conservative. Semi-conservative. What is the meaning of semi-autonomous? Semi-conservative is semi-autonomous. Semi-autonomous. Not semi-conservative. It is semi-autonomous. Semi-conservative will be in DNA. So mitochondria is semi-autonomous. How can we say that? Because some of the protein will be synthesized by mitochondria itself, whereas for some of the protein mitochondria is dependent on nucleus. Okay, for some protein mitochondria is dependent on nucleus, and some protein it can synthesize on its own. So that's why mitochondria is known as semi-autonomous. See, you are dependent on your family for money and food. Okay, and rest of the things you can do on your own, like your studies you can do by yourself. You can study by yourself. Okay, you are not dependent on your family for your studies, but you are dependent on your family for food and money. So partially you are independent and partially you are dependent. So we can say that you are semi-autonomous. You are not completely autonomous, you are semi-autonomous. In the same manner, for some protein requirement mitochondria is dependent on nucleus, and for some protein mitochondria can produce on itself. So mitochondria is known as semi-autonomous. Okay, and who will help in protein synthesis? Ribosomes, double-stranded DNA and RNAs will help in protein synthesis. Okay, and all these are located inside the matrix, and matrix will also have enzymes for Krebs cycle. Okay, let's talk about cytochromes that are located on inner membrane. Mitochondria have chain of cytochrome. Mitochondria will have chain of cytochromes, and these cytochromes are located on inner membrane. Cytochromes are located on the inner membrane. We are talking about cytochromes, and many cytochromes are arranged in series. They are present in chain form on the inner membrane, and these cytochromes help in ATP synthesis. They help in ATP synthesis. Right? What is the role of cytochrome? Cytochrome will help in ATP synthesis. Okay. And apart from this cytochrome, mitochondria will have ATPase enzyme. Mitochondria will have ATPase enzyme. This is an ATPase enzyme. See, I have to draw like this. Yes, this is ATPase enzyme, and this ATPase enzyme has two parts. ATPase enzyme has two parts. One part is known as F0, and one part is known as F1. This is F1 and this is F0. Okay, so this is F0 and this is F1. This whole structure is known as ATPase, and this ATPase also helps in ATP synthesis. Okay, so on the inner membrane, chain of cytochrome is there. On inner membrane, chain of cytochrome is there, and F0 F1 particle is also present. On inner membrane, chain of cytochrome is present, and F0 F1 particle is also present. All these together help in ATP synthesis. All these together help in protein synthesis. Okay, chalo. Now let's talk about division of mitochondria. Division of mitochondria. Mitochondria divides by fission. You are aware about binary fission, multiple fission. You have learned all this term in chapter reproduction in standard 10. Okay, so when mitochondria divides, it divides by the fission method. Okay, it divides by binary fission method. And mitochondria has its own DNA, so it has its own genetic material. So genetic information for protein synthesis is stored in the mitochondria. So this is all about mitochondria, and let's revise mitochondria again. In the first point we said that mitochondria is a very small organelle, and if we want to see it under light microscope, then we have to stay it with particular stains, otherwise we can't visualize it under light microscope. And mitochondria is a double membrane bound organelle like plastid and like nucleus. The outer membrane is there and inner membrane is also there, and from inner membrane cristae arise as invaginations. Cristae arise as invagination. The outer membrane is more permeable and inner membrane is less permeable, and the space between them is known as intermembrane space. And the area which is covered by inner membrane is known as matrix, and matrix has enzymes for Krebs cycle. Krebs cycle is a pathway of aerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration, total 3 pathways are there: glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and oxidative phosphorylation. Out of that, the enzymes of Krebs cycles are present in the matrix. Apart from it, matrix will also have double-stranded DNA. It also has ribosomes. It also has RNAs. It also has enzymes. I have not written about enzymes. It also has enzymes. Matrix will also have some enzymes. Okay, so matrix has enzymes, ribosomes, double-stranded DNA, and RNAs. All these together help in protein synthesis. For some protein requirement, mitochondria is dependent on nucleus, whereas some protein it can synthesize on its own, and that's why mitochondria is known as semi-autonomous organelle. Mitochondria is known as semi-autonomous organelle because some of the protein it can synthesize on its own, whereas for some protein it is dependent on nucleus. That's why it is semi-autonomous. And the inner membrane has chain of cytochromes on it. Inner membrane has chain of cytochrome on it, which help in ATP synthesis. And apart from that, inner membrane also has F0F1 particle, which is also known as ATPase. Inner membrane also has F0F1 particle, which is also known as ATPase. So this ATPase and chain of cytochrome help in ATP synthesis. Okay. And when mitochondria divides, it divides with the help of fission method. It divides by fission method. Okay. So in this video, we have covered regarding mitochondria, which is also known as powerhouse of cell. Okay. So I hope you have understood this topic well. Please watch the video 2-3 times and then submit your homework by evening and write it 2 times. Okay. First, you have to watch the video 2-3 times, and then you have to read it from the textbook, and then you have to write by heart. Okay, and you have to write 2 times. Okay, chalo, best of luck.